down here at the auto house. Now we're gonna check on Appalachian Arbor. I bet they have at least a 10-man crew here today. Let me show you what they're up to, and we'll start on this end. So, they started a few days ago with our logging operation. And this is not your usual logging operation. What I'm really paying for is for them to carefully remove the trees and walk softly on the land. And that's what these folks do. If this was a regular logging operation, they'd have been in and out of here in no time, taking the logs, and the place would look like crap. But that's not my goal. So let's go up in here and see what's happening. I have to be cognizant that this is definitely a work area, and I don't want to get in people's way. Certainly don't want to startle anybody with a chainsaw, that's for sure. Here they are. You see that they've been working in here.
Hey, you want all these, everything in here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just follow the line where it points, right?
Yes.
Then basically from your pencil shell, all of this comes out.
That's right.
Everything, right?
That's right.
So just keep limbing everything.
And he's getting out the smaller stuff, and you can see what they're doing. They come in here and they reach up as far as they can, taking the limbs off. Then they'll come in here with a bucket truck, which they've got going on way down there in the end. We'll walk down there in a minute. And they start dismantling the tree, probably in 10-foot sections, getting ready to put it on the log truck when that time arrives. There's a lot of nice pines up here, but as I explained earlier, they have served their purpose. And where I've got it marked with these, on these pine trees, on these trees, they won't take any of these. They won't take any of these here. So it will be from the red markers on down will stay, because these little trees here are still providing the good screen that we want against these folks over here. And so that's working out fine. And then I'm going to give them that top that came off of my 84 F-150. I don't want it, I don't need it, I'll give it to them as a present. And here's some more scrap metal for their beer fund. Right over there, that old bush hog, or Chinese made thing, and it no longer works well, so I don't want it anymore. I think this is going to look kind of nice up in here. This young man wants that old rotary cutter. Go down here and watch this bucket truck operation. See the big pile of wood chips down here? I always can use those. I never really appreciated how tall these trees actually are until you start doing this to them. Now you can really see them.
Yeah, now you see outline of what we're talking about, pulling the top.
Oh yeah, I do.
You come down, dominate them just like that.
Yeah.
And that way, once we get a good start, you just basically put the skid steer behind it. When you just twist it and drop the butt log.
Very good. Very good.
Now, a few that are leaning over the fence, we'll cable them. And that way we just pull this way.
Okay. Wave. Well, I tell you what, we have a beautiful day for this.
Oh, I know, then we're gonna have a beautiful Thursday, then we got rain coming. Then it looks like rain first part of the week too. So
Okay.
that's probably gonna slow us down here.
Yeah. Another nice pile. Ooh, boy, does that smell good. I'm being real careful with my little bridge. You can see how it just, all those overhanging branches and everything all over this guy's fence. I was just getting tired of dealing with this. And so, just do it once and don't have to worry about it anymore. As Scotty was telling me, he hates to see any tree get cut down, especially healthy trees. But sometimes they just have to go. Red flags. Got things marked going all the way through here. And it will roughly be 20 feet this side of the fence there into this pine planting. Go down to this old farm bridge here. Well, I can hear them. There's some more machinery up here. Let's just see what we've got going on. We're walking in an area that's going to be cut. Away from this fence, all the way over to here, where I've got it marked. So, there they are, to the right. In other words, from this tree right here, all the way over, a straight line, all this will be removed. Well, let's go over and catch up on Appalachian Arbor and see what they're doing up here. Hey Scotty,
Yeah.
you've cleared a corridor.
It's coming. It's coming.
It really looking good.
It's coming.
Now you gotta catch up with the chipper.
Yeah, we're waiting on the other chipper to come.
Oh, okay.
And that way we'll have one at that end and one at this end.
Yeah, it's really amazing.
It's just slow going, but like I said, once you start taking them down, it'll go quicker.
Yes. walked I don't know, probably about a half a mile up to the back of our shooting range, and here's where the logging tree operation has been taking place in part. You can see here's the remaining pines, most of them. It's a thick plantation. They will get bigger and thicker since this has been removed on the outside here. And then these marked ones, of course, are to remain. They will remain, and they will become bigger trees as time comes on, now that light can get to them. Here is, looking all the way down this now created alleyway, down this fence line here, and then those trees way in the distance, which we'll go look at, they're going to be coming out as well. Let's just kind of walk down this thing and get a feel of the scope of it. We had quite a bit of rain last night, so it's muddy. So with the soil turned up and the pine straw removed from all the logging and moving of machinery, it is quite mushy walking through here. We'll do our best to kind of show what's going on. Logs waiting to be harvested and carried away over here. You can see these things are pretty big. Beautiful trees. Beautiful. My wife and I planted these 32 years ago. We've been here 35. Have to watch my footing here. Amazing. Amazing. We'll have to decide what we want to do now with this regained space. Up here, down there, I think we have it kind of figured out, but we don't know yet. We'll swing around, you can look into the remaining plantation. And then through there, you might see glimpses of some of my backstops make up my shooting range. There's an idea. Nice, nice, nice stump, which once grew a very nice tree. But you know, we're not going to waste anything. Everything is going to. See, here's a beauty that's been saved for screening as well as future harvesting. These are all the same age. Access to light, I think, has been the main limiting factor. Looking back from where we came from, almost back to the creek. Crosses right in there. And you can see how they followed the line I had marked very nicely. Let's turn around and look back the other way. Yes. I've stepped back into the remaining the remnants of this pine plantation. This is just one of several on this place. I've walked down to the creek. Right there is a culvert, remnants of an old farm bridge, and I believe it's still very strong. These trees stumps are in the way, But I'm going to talk to them about the possibility of cutting those tree stumps down a little bit further. Might be able to fill that in over there and regain this road up through here, at least as a way to get these logs out of here. But I'm sure Jeff has plans, but I need to talk to him about it. See, I'm standing close to this, or just almost on this old farm culvert here. I'll walk over it, and it goes downstream this way. Either I will or they will clean this stream bed out. And you're looking further down this way towards the chestnut orchard and eventually the auto house, which is where we're heading. So I believe this is also a demonstration that white pine do really well planted close together. It does encourage them to grow straight and tall. I will trim this out all along here myself. All these will be coming out. These are 30, 40, 50 feet tall. According to the fella who's operating the bucket truck. More logs, more pulp. And that's where we came from so far, up that way. Here's the auto house in the background. These trees, of course, they're marked. That means they remain. Down here, not so much. See how they're dismantling those trees? Look at the wind bending them now. Pretty strong gusts today. We'll just have to see. Are to wind, all except for ice. They really don't like ice and wind. But you can see why I was getting a little nervous about having these big, huge 50-footers next to my auto house here. You can see how they are dismantling the trees. These are logs ready to come down, as well as These right over here in the front and the ones in the back are almost completely dismantled. They just need to take the tops out. I shouldn't say just need. I only mean that in terms of the work that's left to do. Have to work out amongst these power lines here and continuing to take these down apart. The look is going to be quite different. Something we'll get used to. My old 84 F-150 and 54 Chevy 210 are witnessing all of this. Wood chips, wood chips. Things are quiet. It is a Saturday, April 1st. 2023, so this is I'll have to check the calendar and see what week this is into all of this logging slash tree removal stuff. Today is Sunday, April the 9th, 2023, and documenting further progress on the tree removal logging operation. So this is our road frontage in front of the auto house. And you can see they have removed all these trees here. It's quite impressive. They're pulling up stumps too as best they can at this point. And this is going to be the spot where a log truck actually will come parking right along here. And then they can load the logs all the way back through this corridor after they get all these trees down. Go up and take a closer look. These few remaining trees have been reduced to poles, so they have been dismantled, so to speak, and then they will come down, and those over there in the back need to get their tops taken off, and then they can be turned into poles as well and be taken down. Lots of good pulpwood here. Nice sized trees. That one at the base is at least 18 inches, if not 20 inches. In the back of the auto house, I hate to see these trees go, but it's time. Today is Sunday, so hopefully they'll be back tomorrow, continue their work. And we'll get some more on video. Orchard cherry trees blossoming, and the Turnbull pear trees. I need to trim these things back, but I wanted to wait till all this logging was done, because there's going to be more probably unavoidable breakage of these tops coming out. You can see they've been topping here, and there they are on the ground. So they have to catch up by turning those tops into chips. Let's turn around, look back from whence we came. looking back towards the road. Turn around and look back into the land. You can see all these tops here. And they came from up here. I think the land has held up really well. And of course, they've been very careful with it. This is taking a long time because in order to walk softly on the land, it takes planning and it does take time. I don't want anything rushed. I just want it done correctly. And this is what I'm paying for. Treetops. They came from up there. And you see there's another row behind them that need to be topped. So, you know, they tend to work on one row at a time. And then they come in, and then they come back in and take them down as they can. Here's some more logs over here. See if I can get my foot up there. And you can see these are nice. That's a little over 12 inches. That's probably about 12 inches across there at the bottom. And they're finished cutting back here because we're getting ready to cross this creek. And so I've talked to him about reusing this old bridge up here, pulling these stumps up, which goes down to this old farm bridge. You can see it peeking through. We'll go down and look at it, and pulling out some more of these stumps and maybe creating a little road right here for future use while they're here with their equipment, pushing soil in to make a bridge and, you know, adding to the culvert down there if need be. But all this over here will remain. Gives you an idea of one of the stumps here. There's another one over here about the same size. And there's the little bridge right down there. There's a culvert down there and water's flowing through. Looks like there are big rocks or pieces of concrete, and then there's concrete along the side here. And looks like this big tree that we planted, we didn't even know there was a bridge here when we did that, has kind of grown out around it. And so they'll try to pull all that up and see if they can't make a crossing here. Here was a beauty that grew here that Dinah and I planted. I mean, yep, that's a nice old tree. But it's really interesting where they grew really well and where they didn't. These are the stumps that they're going to be removing as best they can down in here to create a corridor, and I'm going to be dealing with the rest of them myself. I haven't quite decided how yet, but it's probably going to be with potassium nitrate, chainsaw, and a little water in time. All right. Well, I think this is enough for today in viewing our logging tree removal operation. We'll pick it up later when the crew is back. Tying the rope. Putting tension on the rope. Ooh, a lot of dust. Good morning, everybody. This is April 24th, into the tree removal logging operation. Let's see what they're doing down here at the edge of our creek. Looks like they're moving logs over a bridge. Now, I don't know if they built a temporary one or they're taking advantage of this old one that I had here. Let's go down here and see. What'd you just do here, Jimmy?
Build a bridge and moving logs, sir.
Excellent, excellent. And Scott, this was, are you going to claim this as your creation?
No.
But
No.
you made it.
I made it, but it looks good though. It'll be done soon.
Yes, it does. It does. I'm just going to walk down here and and see. This is quite a change, and I think this is pretty neat. I agree. Fill dirt, yep. And we have a lot of that here. So they're hauling logs from there across this bridge they built across the creek, utilizing that old bridge I talked about, by utilizing logs off the place and a piece of a culvert that I had underneath there. The water's flowing fine, and this is holding the weight, and as they use it, they'll replenish the top with the soil and the debris around here. I'm very pleased with this. This is what they're protecting. And we'll clean this up some more, but they've done a good job. I can utilize that bridge. That's nice. That's going to be an added asset. And of course, all this will remain. May the 5th, 2023. Loading up some more logs here. One of many. Working on this bottom here, and they've moved the logs that are left over to the side here, and these trees are holding things in place. That's why they're still standing. We'll go up to the top here and across the creek and look at it from the downside, where they've really been hauling logs. It's now been 2 weeks since the logging operation was completed. Here we are standing out on the road looking up at the auto house. And you remember all those trees that were standing in the logs? Well, they are gone. Now I have to flatten this out up here and do some planting, probably some sunflowers and that sort of thing on this side. So let's go on up and see what the rest of it looks like. I've cut out and trimmed these remaining little cedars. They will grow and provide a little screen from our neighbors up there. But we're also going to probably have some other trees, some Leyland cypress or something like that, planted right up there towards the fence line. You see the stumps. You remember that palisade of trees that were standing here, acting to hold the logs back? Well, they're no longer around. I wanted to leave that nice black cherry up there, which was deemed to be solid. All right, continue on down this way. And I will use these wood chip piles that are up here, spread them around, use them as light cover for any seed we decide to plant. And you remember right over here behind the auto house, that huge pile of wood chips? Well, I've now used them on the trails up there in our woods. Well, they didn't take this like I thought they would. but I will take it to the recycling place myself and either just turn it in for recycling or take it to the scrap, get a little money. I'll need to straighten this out. Here's some more wood chip piles, and you can see these are the trees we decided to leave, and they have done what I thought they would. They're starting to respond to the exposed light just in this short period of time, which is very nice. And then we'll have more greenery in here. We'll allow this to come up like we used to in naturalized wildflowers. Looks like right now mainly what we have coming up here is some wing stem, which will be very pretty as the year progresses. Looking forward further down where we had the trees removed, there's one lone standing walnut which will branch out fuller now that it's not surrounded by pines. And of course more wood chips for me to use on the trails. I'll have no problem using all these wood chips. I'll show you a project I've already started down here. Let's turn around and look back towards the road. Yeah. Let's just walk over here. Look at a stump. There you go. Here's an idea of the size of the trees here. Let me put my foot here. There you go. I wear a 10.5 shoe, so you get the size of the stump. We've walked down a little bit further, and another pile of wood chips. And see, I've been in here and I've been cleaning and flattening and straightening out here, and see how much better this is looking up here. I'll get this prepared for planting. We're going to seed it, not this green stuff we're looking at here, but the raw stuff behind me where the trees were removed. I'll come up here and seed all of this, and sunflowers and all kinds of interesting things. I've already purchased all the seeds, so it's just a matter of doing it. And given how cool this spring has been, it's probably a good idea I've been waiting so long. But see, look at this. This tree right here is a Chinese chestnut. And see, it's already responding to the light that's allowed to come in from the pine removal, which is nice. See, look at that. Okay. What looks to be gnarled and mangled will actually straighten up and look nice. Same thing down through there. Now, you remember how messed up this was? Look at all the straightening up that I've done and that they did too. So I think the cleaning up has been pretty good. All the logs have been removed. I asked them to leave some logs so I could come down here and build up my road here, which is what I'm doing down in there. And I'll show you that, not right now, but in another video, well, once I get it done. Right now it's a work in progress. And you can see, well, maybe you can't, but these wood chip piles are significantly smaller. And see how clean it is in there now? This is the road I'm working on here. I'll go ahead and just show you a little bit of it. Is that I put in earth, put in these logs along the side here to build this up significantly. See, there's the logs right over there, all along the side there, and I've put earth in here, and now I'm putting a thick layer of wood chips on it. And I need to come in here by hand with a rake and get out these big piles and stuff right here. You can see, and that only can be done by hand because I tried it with my dozer blade and it just clumps. and it doesn't act at all like soil or gravel because these things interlock and they roll and tumble. Yep. And they're kind of damp too. So anyway, I'm kind of pleased with the way this is turning out. You know, you get out here and start working, and then you start getting tired and you get somewhat frustrated at the way things used to look and the way things look now. But I think I can see it improving over time. Already I can see these trees, like look at this chestnut here, responding beautifully to the extra light it's getting now on limbs that hadn't had leaves in a long time. This elevated road, or at least trying to level out this right here, because this slope was getting kind of difficult, and I was afraid of runoff. So now it's built up here, right along here you can see, and it's built up back there to make this in here flat, relatively speaking, before it goes up the hill. And I think once I get this leveled out and we run over it and flatten it down, I think we'll be very happy with that. So you can see right now it looks like a mess, but I think it will be better as time goes on. Of course, my wife always accuses me of being the eternal optimist, but I don't like the alternative. I'm a realist, I think, but I think optimism is necessary. Tempered with realism, of course. Here's an example of some damage that was done by the machinery. Hard to avoid. And the tree is hopefully will repair itself. I mean, that's what they do in nature. And I have removed and I am removing piles of wood chips from the base of these trees, because that's not good to have stuff like that piled up around a tree. And I'm doing that all along here. Let's go up and look at this interesting. Now, one of these, this one, is a white pine stump, and this one over here is a black cherry stump. And look what's happening already. This black cherry stump is sprouting. I'll have to keep an eye on that and keep that sort of trimmed back, I guess. Or I might even come up here and poison it, I'm not quite sure. Looking back towards the auto house on the road. These are nice size pine trees. And of course, the harvest of the timber offset a little bit of this work, and I emphasize a little bit. See, these piles are much smaller than what they were. They covered this entire area right here. And I've just kind of moved them on down to the road. This gives us a nice planting bed up here. See, it's not too bad. It's nice soil. It's not packed. Too bad. I'll put a little covering on it when I start moving things around in terms of planting. My idea is to kind of seed and then scratch the soil to work the seed into the soil. Now we've walked back to where one of our creeks is located, and here's the little bridge that they made, and I'll come in here and improve this. But they used this bridge, they made it out of logs that they cut off the place right here, and they moved the soil in. And I had that culvert, and they put the culvert in, and it spans the creek. See the big size of those logs? And then this is built up with soil and wood chips, and I'll level this out a little better. So I can get in here and use this and All the logs that were up there that I was wondering about are now gone. Now, this pile of debris right here, I will probably just come in here with my tractor and John Deere and kind of move this stuff back a little bit. Not much, because this will provide a nice barrier for when it rains to catch runoff, so it won't go into the creek. Because if this berm wasn't here, I would need to build one anyway. So let's walk across the bridge here. I'll get these big ruts out of here, left by the machine running across it. That'd be easy to do, just smooth it out. Probably just fill in these ruts and that'll raise it up that much more. This will clear out. I'll get that stump out, and that little tree laying across the creek, I'll get that out too. See, like that stump right there, I can roll that over to here and use this and create a barrier to keep runoff from going down into the creek. And this would be seeded too. I'm thinking about sorghum or millet. I haven't quite decided yet. Like I said, I have purchased different seed, so I have a variety. I have choices to decide what I want to do. I'm very pleased, well, as pleased as you can be with a major logging operation, but I think I can work in here, make things better. Let's kind of look back like this towards the auto house. Now what I'm going to do next is walk up here and we'll look back. Yeah. So I will be documenting the recovery of this from time to time. Well, this concludes the video documenting this major logging operation, at least for us. So thank you for watching Ken's Show and Tell.